What's up everybody, Farmer Q here, and on today we're going to be harvesting our comfrey leaves, adding our leaves to the fertilizer mix that we're building up for the next coming spring and summer season. And I'm excited, so we're going to chop these leaves down and we're going to get to the root of it, literally. And we're going to harvest the root pieces so that we can grow comfrey at a later date. So let's get right into it. So we're going to be harvesting today with this awesome knife that Mr. Stinky Puddle Ranch gifted us, and it's going to make quick work of these leaves, and then we're going to dig the roots out by hand. So one thing I wanted to add in before we got started was the fact that on tonight it's supposed to drop down to like 20 degrees, and this comfrey has tolerated some cold, but I really don't think it's going to be tolerating that. So we're trying to save these leaves and make the most out of them and harvest these roots so that we can grow them in different places, because I already know even if I harvest these roots, it's still going to grow back from this exact same spot. So let's get it. We're going to cut the leaves kind of up the stalk a little bit so we can have a pull point when we harvest these roots. This knife is doing perfect. It's making quick work of this. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. So check it out, y'all. This is our comfrey leaf pile that we're gonna add to our nutrient mixture. But I just wanted to show y'all the epicness of this pile before we moved on and actually got some of these roots up. Here we got our points of growth where the comfrey came from. We have literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of growth to actually go from. So what I'm gonna do is actually come here a little bit and see what we got. Oh wow. So this is our first root piece that we could harvest, and boy oh boy, got some nice strong root pieces. And we're not going to go too deep with it. We're going to allow the rest of the pieces to stay in the ground because they're probably going to pop up in the soil next season. So we're going to keep it going because the soil over here is nice and soft. So this is perfect. Look at this. I'm just pulling up more root pieces here. Okay, here. Oh yeah, this is a nice big piece here. Ooh. Just like that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Y'all check this out. Look at this root right here. Goodness gracious. This is an epic comfrey root. And we didn't even pull up the whole thing. What I'm gonna do is pull up every single crown, but I'm gonna actually save one crown in here, and we're just gonna cover it with mulch so we can have a strong growth point for next season. Okay, there we go. So here's our last root piece right here, and we still have a nice crown here in the ground that we're gonna cover up with some of our compost over here, and then we're gonna keep it moving. Let's go ahead and grab some of this compost over here, some of this good compost. We're gonna go ahead and cover this right on up. We got some hay over here, and really just get nice and covered up because we want to make sure that it's nice and protected for this frost that comes through. The compost isn't all the way done, but it's biologically active. We'll be able to make the most out of it. All right, y'all, so let's go on over here and add our leaves to our nutrient mixture, and then we're gonna get all our roots in one spot. We'll call it quits. All right, we got our comfrey leaves already, so let's go ahead and add these comfrey leaves to our Lioncrest mixer, and we're gonna go inside and we're gonna show you all the comfrey roots. So let's get it. So y'all, as you can see, we got a bunch of comfrey leaves here. We're gonna go ahead and add them to our Lioncrest mixer here, and we're gonna call it good. We're just gonna add them right to the top here, just like this, and then we're gonna get our stick and we're gonna push them down because I don't want none of this stuff on me. So we'll go ahead and grab our stick right here and we'll just push it on down into the mix, and there she goes, deep into the abyss we go. And it is sticking there, y'all. I'm pushing it all the way to the bottom, and it did not want to go at first, but when we add it and push it down, it's done. And when we hit that 9-month to 10-month mark, we good to start using it. So y'all, now that we actually got our Comfrey added to our Leo Elixir mixer, we're gonna go ahead and head inside. Gonna show y'all what the Comfrey roots look like. We're gonna bust them down and we're gonna preserve them and save them. All right, y'all, so as you can see here, we got our Comfrey root. We got some chicken thawing out in the sink beside us here, but we got our Comfrey root that we're gonna wash off here, and then we're gonna take it over to the cutting board. We're gonna chop them up into 2-inch sections. We're gonna bag it up in the refrigerator and store it for later use. So as you can see, we got our Comfrey roots down. No worries, we're gonna do it one at a time. I just wanted to show y'all all 4 of the Comfrey crowns that we got right here in front of us. Like I said, we left one out in the ground to actually grow next season. We mulched over it, made sure it was nice and warm. But what I wanted to show y'all now was how I break my Comfrey root pieces down to actually dry them down for 2 or 3 weeks, and then we're gonna store them in a nice dark, cool area until it's time to actually plant them next season. All right, so what we wanna do here is pretty much take these and break these up into 2-inch sections. So how I'm gonna do this is just like this. I'm gonna use about the size of my pinky as a reference point, and then we're gonna go ahead and cut them into pieces that big. So we got that big, about right there. So we'll be going about right here. So we're gonna cut just like that. And with these pieces, I mean, we'll give them a shot too. Come through, we'll cut our pieces just like so. Then we'll take our crown right here and I'll just break it right on in half, just like this. So it was okay. We got our little piece there. We got our crown here. We'll go ahead and cut the green off the crown, just like that. Now we have our Comfrey root pieces. I'm gonna rinse and repeat this same process, and we're gonna be in business. I'm gonna get this crown right here. I'm gonna split it in half, just like that. So you see, when we split our crown, it actually gave us a few different pieces. So this crown will actually grow into Comfrey as well. We got one more piece, which is our largest piece. We're gonna break it on down. Take our last crown here. This is a big one right here, so it'll be pretty easy to break in half. So just take it, just like that. Got our big piece, we got our crown piece. So the way we're gonna dry this, we're gonna go ahead and throw a paper towel right up in here, just like that. We want to have our paper towel in there so that whatever moisture does end up on the paper towel, it can wick off into the air and dry up. But we're going to go ahead and put all of our Comfrey pieces right inside of our wicking basket, just like this. So now, as y'all can see, we got all our Comfrey pieces. We're going to set it up on the table, let it dry for about a good 2 weeks or so. Then we're going to store it in a nice, dry, cool spot. So what I'm gonna do with these is wrap them up in that paper towel right there, throw them in this Ziploc bag, then we're gonna throw them inside of the refrigerator until we're ready for them to be planted on the next season. So we have our Comfrey all packaged up and ready to go. We're gonna be throwing this in the refrigerator and just letting it chill in there. When we're ready to plant our root pieces or send them out to anyone, we'll have them ready to go.
So y'all check this out. So in this bag, we have our Comfrey that we literally harvested at the end of the fall. And I wanted to show y'all what we're starting to look like with it just being inside the bag. And we got little roots showing on the Comfrey roots. And at this point, what our plan is to look at this one. Look at that right there. But yeah, what our plan is to take one of these right now, which is this one right here where you see all the green sprouts on. There's sprouts on some of the other ones too. But our plan is to take this and put it in a 1-gallon pot with some soil and get it established before we take it outside and let it grow into a whole new plant. So we're gonna do just that. So right here, inside this container, we have our soil that we're gonna use to actually get our comfrey going. So only thing we really need to do at this point is literally grab this soil, throw it in here, just like this. Shake it down, pat it just a little bit, pat it just a little bit, just like that. So now we have our soil inside of our pot and we're ready to put the comfrey inside now. So I'm gonna put it in a spot where you can kind of see me do my thing here. And right there, our pot is set in place. We're gonna take our big piece of comfrey here that we wanna use for our establishment purposes. This guy right here. And we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna plant this directly inside of the pot. So we're gonna make a little slot right here in the pot. And the soil's so soft and rich and everything. It's potting soil. It's not necessarily like native soil or anything like that. But what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna go ahead and bury it. Bury the green pieces and everything. Because I'm gonna water it in and I'm gonna really allow that to just peek through the soil. Because what I want is for that piece of root that was exposed to be under the soil so that it can feed the plants and feed everything else that's underneath, microbes and all that. But look, y'all, we got our comfrey planted. You can't even see it inside the soil, but we're gonna just water this in, then we'll come back when we got the actual comfrey grown above the soil. So one thing I wanted to show y'all real quick before we skipped over to the comfrey growing above the pot is the comfrey being watered in for the first time, because oftentimes it's really easy to underwater our plants when we get them first watered into a spot because we're concerned about overwatering. Overwatering is something that happens over a period of time. It can happen at the onset, but this soil that we have right here is very aerated, has a lot of perlite in it, very fluffy, and is gonna be very good at holding water, but also draining water as well. And we also have it inside this tray right here. You can't really see, but we're gonna go ahead and let her rip. So you can even see the comfrey that was actually sprouting off of the root piece above the soil, but you can't see the actual root piece itself. And that's actually what I was trying to accomplish by burying it, because it's gonna really allow for more comfrey to potentially pop up from that piece. We're gonna have a nice little comfrey bush that pops up, and I'm excited for y'all to see it. So check it out, y'all. Here we are 2 days later, and yeah, like I said, we got a comfrey little bush starting to form off that little piece of root. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited to let it establish and then plant it outside. It's gonna be so awesome. All right, y'all, so we got the full spectrum of the comfrey harvest, preserving, and then replanting to see it now sprout above the soil line. And now we're in business whenever we want to get it planted outside. I just wanted to show y'all the full cycle of this whole process, and I think we've done just that. So get out there and plant your own comfrey. Let me know down below in the comments if you've ever harvested, preserved, and replanted your comfrey so that you could have more comfrey outside. And be blessed, y'all. Farmer Q out.